What is up, guys? It's your boy Sebastian here, and last night the Packers took a quarterback in the first round of the draft, Jordan Love. We're gonna need some ibuprofen for this one. This is a tough one to swallow, and I just had to make a video in reaction to this because after all the cursing and raging I did last night, I've really sat down to think about it, and there's two ways you got to look at this when you look at the selection. Look at the state of the Packers, and then when you look at Jordan Love as a player and moving forward. This decision just was not good. And now this is not me saying Jordan Love is not a good player. All right, let's just make that clear. I like Jordan Love as a player. I think he does need a lot of time to develop, which he's going into a situation where he will. But the Packers right now, this is not the decision you make. We were in the NFC Championship last year, all right? We need playmakers. We have never drafted a receiver in the first round or like since Rodgers has even been with the team. And our number one need going into this draft is receiver, all right? We can't just throw the atoms every single play and rely on a bunch of unproven guys who eventually show some potential but are never top 15 wide receivers in the NFL. Like, I'm sorry, that's just not gonna work. And this is a time where it's showtime, all right? We need to go all out for Rodgers, all right? Turning 37 this December. I get it. People think he's gonna be done soon. That's normal. Like, he's old. He's getting there. But the point is, we have a good team right now. Broncos, they went all out for Manning. We need to do the same thing for Aaron Rodgers. We have a defense now. Let's get him some weapons and do this. We don't need to be bringing in his successor. That's just going to piss him off. And he is, I'm sure, very unhappy right now because this front office has constantly let him down for years and years. And it's just annoying. Like, imagine how frustrating this is for Aaron Rodgers, all right? Last year, he goes in. Look, he didn't have his best season ever. I'll admit that. But you know what? He was efficient. He was a good quarterback, and he's still Aaron Rodgers. Now, was he the Aaron Rodgers that we had in 2014? No. But he's still a good quarterback and can get the job done, and I think he's still fully capable of winning a Super Bowl. But when we're not helping him and then we just straight up draft his successor, that's just a slap in the face to Aaron Rodgers. And if I'm him, I am pissed right now. He was expecting us to draft a receiver or some sort of weapon for him in the first round, and we trade up a few spots when we didn't even need the trade up and drafted Jordan Love. Now, Love, he has a lot of potential, has shown a lot of flashes, but the one video I would like to reference, that I will reference a lot when talking about Jordan Love, Alex Rollins NFL, a great channel if you can go check him out. He's here on YouTube. I'll put a link in the description. He did a video like reviewing Jordan Love as a prospect in his film, and he does a great job of showing how Love shows his great potential and great accuracy, and shows him breaking down all the coverage and scanning across the whole field. And then there's times where he just looks at two reads and then just takes a sack or runs out of the pocket and makes some crazy play, and that play gets on the highlight and you're like, oh, this guy's a stud. But when you realize he missed a wide open touchdown in 50 yards because he couldn't predict the coverage like an NFL quarterback should be, or a top tier prospect quarterback, all right, he is a project. But this is not what we should be focusing on as a team right now, all right? And this is, God, it's so frustrating as a Packers fan to see this pick. Yes, there's the potential. Yes, Love can be a great quarterback. Yes, Rodgers is getting old, but now is not the time. He already has stated that he wants to play till he's like 42, 43. Like, and we still have plenty of years left on his contract, and we just draft a quarterback? We were in the NFC Championship last year, went 13-3 with a first-year head coach, had a great defense. We got the Smith Bros back there, Jair Alexander, future All-Pro, Kevin King, who's just a solid cornerback. The three positions that, honestly, that I would go into looking into in the draft for the Packers: receiver, inside linebacker, then looking for a third defensive back, because Tramon Williams is really old. I don't know if he's going to retire or not. I don't even know if his contract ended. I would have to look into that. But Josh Jackson, who was our second-round pick a few years ago, hasn't worked out. We don't really have I'd say a solid or really good guy as that number 3. I would value getting a number 3 corner, because if Jair goes down or Kevin goes down again, what do we do? But no, we draft a quarterback. So now I get it. Packers are saying they didn't see a player valuable enough to take with the 30th pick there or whatever. That's understandable, but here's the thing. We're so close to a Super Bowl team. We got spanked by the Niners. Spanked. That taught us something. And we need to be focusing right now on like just not letting that happen again, obviously. But that's always something that we were still close, and if we were able to get that far and then we just got beat around by them, we're not as close as we think, but we're still close because we made it that far and we beat the Seahawks. Honestly, when I look into the NFC this year, the teams really competing are the Niners, I think the Seahawks, and then the Saints and Buccaneers, and then the Packers. All right, that's 5 teams. I think the Packers could handle the Saints, but it would be a complete shootout. Our defense would really have to step up. Then with the Seahawks, we usually seem to have their number, except when we're playing in Seattle or it's in the playoffs, but luckily that wasn't the case this past year. And then when we go to the Niners, they have just been straight bullying us. And then the Buccaneers is just, I don't know what to expect from them. Hopefully I'll be able to go to that Buccaneers-Packers game this year. Fingers crossed, but who knows? Gosh, I just keep thinking about, man, this is also kind of a little, me growing up, Aaron Rodgers being my idol, and he's one of the main reasons I started watching football. It's like, man, I know it's getting towards the end of his career, but I don't think it's the right time to draft a quarterback. But then it's like, man, that's the guy who probably is going to take over for him eventually. It's just like, that's my childhood right there, That's my quarterback. But I just think it was such a poor decision at this time, and honestly, I think we could have gotten him in the middle of the second round. The Patriots traded back. The Colts didn't take him, which was surprising. Maybe the Colts were going to leapfrog the Packers and trade back into the first and get him. I don't know. I'm sure the GMs know more than, well, of course they know more than us, but you can't see the reasoning behind trading up a few picks and then drafting him when we need a receiver. Like, this receiver class is very deep, and I hope we get Mims or get T. Higgins or get somebody. If we don't get anybody, then I will seriously question the brain functions of Brian Gutekunst, or I'm probably not pronouncing his name right, but I'm just kind of spitting stuff off the fly here when it comes to this because I just really wanted to get something out there. Oh my gosh. Why? Just why? Why? Why couldn't we wait? It just wasn't a need. We're so close. You don't draft a quarterback right now. I get it. Look, I'm not saying Jordan Love's a bad player, and I think he can be a great player. I've stated that before. This is not an attack on Jordan Love. Now, maybe I'll be a little salty about his presence, just knowing he's on the team. Of course. And I'm sure Rodgers isn't happy too. Shoot. I wonder what's going through his head right now because it's just what the hell? Why? Just why? Man. And if this is really showing towards the end, I imagine that we're going to sit Love for 2 to 3 years and then I feel like Rodgers will go to another team because he's just not going to go out like that, let some guy take his job and then him retire. I just feel like he's not Eli Manning. It's not happening. But it does make me wonder now, what's Rodgers think? I'm sure Rodgers is pissed at the front office, and this front office has treated him like shit, honestly, throughout his career. And I'm sorry for the language. I just had to say it. It's bad. And I know the language, I try to keep it PG for people, but words slip out sometimes. But it's just, when we look at the years and years of just not putting guys around him and then just thinking the draft is the only way you build a team, and then maybe occasionally signing that random free agent, like signing Julius Peppers that year, that was a great signing. Then we signed Jared Cook to a 1-year deal. That was great. Rodgers comes to the front office, is like, hey, offer this guy a contract. I really liked playing with him. I want to keep him. We don't even offer him a contract and let him walk. And then we signed Jimmy Graham, who was just a bum. I'm sorry, when you have a quarterback like Rodgers, who in my opinion is the greatest quarterback to ever play the game, you can fight me on that. But when you just straight up disrespect him like that, and now this with the new general manager, this is going to I'm worried about the team chemistry with this because Rodgers is not going to be happy. And this team chemistry was already pretty good, but now just throwing in this rookie quarterback and when Rodgers clearly not being happy, and this team loves Rodgers. The team is backed Rodgers clearly. All that mess about him being a bad leader and stuff, I get it. Look, he's not the most sociable guy or the most uplifting guy when you look at him speak about his teammates and stuff. But when the teammates talk about him, they love him. Like, they've got his back. So clearly he's doing something right. But now he's pissed off. And now he's going to play angry. And maybe that will make him play better. Hopefully it does. But it doesn't change the fact that we just ignored the fact that we needed a weapon. Maybe draft a tackle. I mean, that's another need. We could draft another tackle. Offensive line depth is always something that you can never have enough of. It's just so much value there in the offensive line. A guy goes down, you just plug and play with all these guys that you have. I mean, I like versatility on the offensive line. I like guys that can play guard and tackle, guard and center. Now, I mean, of course, you can't expect that with every player, but I wouldn't mind getting some versatile offensive linemen. I mean, I haven't really checked at all the prospects, but considering that if some offensive linemen were taken around the time the Packers are picking, I mean, why not try to jump up and get one of them or something? Like, I just don't understand the thought process in drafting Jordan Love. I get it. You think he's your guy for the future, but we're this close to a Super Bowl, and we already haven't supported Rodgers enough, but we finally go out and get him a defense, and now he just needs another receiver, and we just draft a quarterback in the first round? Like, what? Explain the thought process to me with that. Like, I would love to sit down and hear what you would say about that, because unless you... I mean, shoot, a tight end. I don't even know any tight ends in this class, but anybody, just take the best player available. Take a defensive end that we don't even need. I mean, just why Jordan Love? Just why? Now, I'm just straight up ranting, but it's frustrating. Over and over and over again, this team just makes questionable decisions, and we've had a Hall of Fame quarterback for the past, 20, 30 years, and we've only won 2 Super Bowls. 2. That's just unexcusable, and now I get it. Rodgers, you can't put all the blame on the rest of the team and not give any blame to Rodgers or Favre for not winning, of course, but, there's something wrong when you have a Hall of Fame quarterback from in the 90s and then in the 2000s, 2010s, and you just, you have nothing to show for it. You just have 2 Super Bowls, but that's barely anything, all right? Russell Wilson has a Super Bowl. Mahomes has a Super Bowl, all right? Those guys, all right, it's nothing special. We have 1. I mean, Wentz it was really Foles' Super Bowl, but fight me on that. Foles has a Super Bowl. I mean, you want to just keep going? Think of all the guys that just have 1 ring and that have been playing. I mean, if we just look at those rings, Flacco has a Super Bowl. Then what? Oh, who else? Let me think of some recent Super Bowl winners. Oh yeah, just Patriots. Flacco has a Super Bowl. I mean, you got Flacco, Wilson, Mahomes. I mean, those guys all have just 1 Super Bowl. Rodgers has 1 Super Bowl. I mean, I would like to think that Rodgers is better than most quarterbacks to ever play this game, but I mean, 1 Super Bowl, people like to measure quarterbacks by their wins, and when we don't surround them with a good team, he makes magic happen. You just can't expect that to carry you to a Super Bowl. It just doesn't work like that. When you have a defense that will give up 35 to 40 points a game and just gets run all over by Colin Kaepernick, or, gets just destroyed by a fake field goal against Seattle, and then your tight end drops an onside kick. I mean, and then you have Larry Fitzgerald, who just stabs through the heart of your team. I mean, should I keep going? The run defense that gives up to some no-name running back, I mean, and lets them run all over for 250 yards? I don't even care at this point to remember how bad that was. It's just unexcusable. And it's really unfortunate to see Rodgers' career get wasted. Now this just slapped to the face of him. I think he's always been disrespected by that front office, but this right here is just unreal. Had to take a quick break there. And just to summarize all this, I know I've been all over the place, and this is kind of really off-script video. I'm just spitting whatever's coming to the top of my head. I don't hate Jordan Love. Let's just make that clear. I know it seems like it, and I just don't like the pick. And now, obviously, if he becomes really good, it's going to look like a great pick. But it's either he's going to be a great quarterback or he's going to fail, all right? Like, there's no in-between. And I think this Packers team needs to win a Super Bowl before he takes over because Rodgers deserves that, and this team is capable of that. But maybe we needed the draft some of the impact player in the first round instead of taking that quarterback. Like, I just don't understand why this couldn't have waited another year or two, because Rodgers clearly controls this team. And when I say controls the team, he controls the locker room. They love him. They're backing him up. And this team is close to being a Super Bowl team. And we just go ahead and draft his replacement. Like, just doesn't make much sense, but who knows? Maybe I'll look like the biggest idiot just complaining about this at all. Maybe Jordan Love becomes the starter after this season and Packers win a Super Bowl with him. I don't know. Anything could happen, but either way, Rodgers is a GOAT. Peace.